What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, something a bit different. It is movie related, of course, but I just wanted to have a little chatteroo about something I like to collect, which is making of books. These kind of books are packed with amazing facts about the making of a film, and I am very much fascinated by the inner workings and the background kind of stories and how a film is put together. I find it fascinating, so I do like to collect the making of books. I have a stack here that I'm going to show you, but first, no-brainer one, Godzilla 1954, Atomic Dreams and the Nuclear Nightmare, the making of Godzilla 1954. I've spoken about this book before briefly in my Godzilla collection video. I just wanted to like, you know, showcase some of these making of books because they are absolutely packed with information about whatever film you are looking to get. There's loads out there to find. I'm really happy to have the Godzilla one in particular. Absolutely brilliant. Go read the blurb on the back so you can get an idea of what this book contains. One of the most remarkable movies ever made, Toho Studios' 1954 Godzilla was an incredible gamble. A replacement film with a second choice director initially conceived to take timely advantage of the then current trend of American-made monster movies. What resulted was a rough-hewn work of art that staggered audiences and confused critics. Initially an entire new genre and the longest-running movie series in history was born. Born out of the ashes of World War II fire raids, atomic bombings and radioactive fallout, Godzilla was produced at a time of great anxiety and extreme paranoia. Created by a country with an intimate knowledge of nuclear disasters, the resultant film is a treatise not only on horrific events of the past, but a clarion call for a future shrouded by a mushroom cloud. Participating in this unique endeavour were a maverick special effects man, a bold producer, and a director scared from his own wartime atomic experiences, determined to make a statement, resulting in the cinema's first anti-nuclear film to attain popular appeal. As you probably could tell by that blurb, Godzilla 1954 is way more than just a monster movie. It is a very important film in my opinion, and I think more people need to give this a chance. Yeah, sure, it's in Japanese, it's in black and white, and it's from the 50s, but it's one of the greatest 1950s movies to ever kind of come out, really, in my opinion. Obviously, it's my favourite film of all time, but yeah, this book is just absolutely full of wonderful information about the time, about, you know, like you said on the back, the film was a risk to make, and yeah, and Ishiro Honda just kicked it out of the park, and he used his own experiences of atomic warfare to really kind of give you a bleak vision of what, you know, what that power can do. So this is a great book. Next up, I have a 90s classic, The Making of Jurassic Park. This book has seen better days, but I do really enjoy this book. It's full of wonderful tidbits about the movie, wonderful little illustrations like the Isla Nublar there. Absolutely like cool illustrations of dinosaurs, and at the back it's got some really cool storyboards. The T-Rex breakout storyboard is really interesting to actually look through and stuff like that. Just going to read the quick blurb at the back here. An inside look at 1993's biggest movie. It is the big film of 1993 and perhaps one of the most elaborate in movie history. Shrouded in mystery throughout its pre-production, principal photography and editing, it breaks new technical ground with amazingly lifelike dinosaurs and stunning special effects. Made by Hollywood's most inventive and successful director, Steven Spielberg, it is the most talked about, most anticipated film to capture the American imagination in years. It is Jurassic Park. And now you can go behind the scenes for a rare inside look at the making of the movie. The story behind the story. From author Michael Crichton's 10-year fascination with dinosaurs to the final draft of the screenplay by Michael Crichton and David Koepp. How the finest FX team in history pulled their talents to create the most lifelike dinosaurs ever seen on film. From initial sketches to sound effects. The sound effects in Jurassic Park are just like next level. The way they created the sounds for the dinosaurs is just awesome. Exclusive interviews with Steven Spielberg, Michael Crichton, actors Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, and Sir Richard Attenborough, and the key players behind the scenes. Tales from the front lines of shooting on location in Kuwait, Koei, I think that's how you pronounce it. Reproductions of the actual storyboards used during filming. The storyboards are really cool in this book, by the way. Written by the editors of the special effects magazine Cinefex, lavishly illustrated and beautifully designed. The making of Jurassic Park is your ticket to a movie making story, every bit as exciting as the film itself. Don't know about that, but yeah, going back to the Godzilla one. When was this published? I didn't really have a look. This was published in 2015. I think this came out alongside the film, I do believe. I think it was published in 1993. Yeah, published in 1993. So yeah, that's quite of the time when the film came out. To follow the making of Jurassic Park, I've got the making of The Lost World Jurassic Park. Again, it's just another book filled with amazing photographs of the film and just some awesome information about the film. Of course, there's not much I really can say about these books. About just you know, they're just really great. They go into right detail about, you know, concept designs for the velociraptors and the other dinosaurs, Stegosaurus. There's a lot of information. I just think going behind the scenes and checking out how a film was made, I just find it fascinating. But reading the back of this, Something Has Survived. Steven Spielberg wowed the world with his first version of Michael Crichton's blockbuster Jurassic Park. That film's breakthrough special effects really brought dinosaurs back from the extinction. Now the mighty dinosaurs are about to rule movie theatres again, with Steven Spielberg back in the director's chair and his team of brilliant effects wizards back on the job. Here is your chance to slip behind the cameras and into the studios, workshops and locations for a look at this summer's most eagerly anticipated film, The Lost World Jurassic Park. Follow the amazing process of bringing dinosaurs to life, from the preliminary sketches to the Stan Winston sculptures. Watch a computer-generated dinosaur learn to walk, run and eat, courtesy of Dennis Muren and Industry Light and Magic's Academy Award-winning team of special effects geniuses. Join director Steven Spielberg and cast members Jeff Goldblum, Julianne Moore, Pete Postlethwaite, I can't never pronounce his name, Arliss Howard, Vince Vaughn, Vanessa Lee Chester, Peter Stormare, Lord Richard Attenborough, Harvey Jason, Richard Schiff and Thomas Duffy, and producers Gerald R. Mullen and Colin Wilson on the sets of Universal Studios and on location in Northern California and Hawaii.
I need to learn how to fucking read.
Something Has Survived. Be among the very first to see just what that something is. From a tiny gleam in the director's eye to a magical feature release. Yeah, the making of Lost World Jurassic Park. I mean, like, I don't know what I really can do. This video was just kind of like off the cuff really video. I just don't know what to really do about these books and really what I can say to talk about them. But this was published in 1987, so again, this is very timely of the film's release. I'm sure this was like, you know, these stuff like this in the toy line and stuff like that were very hot tickets at the time. You know, dinosaur fever was all over the place. We're going back to Godzilla for this one, next one, because I thought I had to have it just for the collection. But the making of Godzilla, 1998. This is obviously the first American adaptation of Godzilla. Completely betrayal of Godzilla. The character is not Godzilla whatsoever. But again, this is just a really nice kind of compendium of the making of the film. It's just a really cool images, like the jawline and the eyes, and then figuring out what it was going to look like. And I'm not the biggest fan of the final 98 Godzilla design, but I mean, it was given the green lit by Toho, so you know, people shit on this movie, but I mean, like, Toho still gave it the green light, which is weird because they're usually they got a stranglehold on their own IP a lot of the time. But yeah, Godzilla 98, the making of. Read the back on the back of the blurb. Is that thunder or footsteps? Godzilla is back, bigger than ever, and you are there for the filming of the most spectacular special effects ever captured on screen. Debatable. The undisputed king of movie monsters has been brought to life by Roland Emmerich and Dean Delvin, the celebrated creators of the smash hit Independence Day.
He's not really a king of monsters in this movie, though, is he?
How they filmed the ultimate monster in the Ultimate City, New York, is one of the most fascinating, revealing and entertaining stories in cinema history.
I doubt it, guys, I doubt it.
They use a lot of buzzwords on here, and the film doesn't live up to these buzzwords on the back of this. But you know, again, like, it's just I like making ofs, and I do like where it's got like storyboards as well. I think that's cool. Like, it's just little things like this, like, you know, concept art, and yeah. But that's Godzilla, the making of Godzilla. Next up is a new addition to the making of book collection that I've got, and this is James Cameron's Titanic. I picked this up yesterday. It's a fucking monster of a book. It's absolutely massive, but this is also packed full of really cool. I have not actually read this yet, but it's got packed full of information about the film and stills and concept art and stuff like that. Oh, just going back to the Godzilla one, I keep forgetting to tell you when these were actually published. I think this was off the time of the movie. It's got to be right. Yeah, 98. 98 for the Godzilla. Titanic was published 1997, so the year the film came out. Just going to the blurb at the back of this. James Cameron's Titanic chronicles the cinematic recreation of the most legendary ocean disaster of all time, as seen through the eyes of a master storyteller. Set against the ship's fateful maiden voyage, Cameron's much anticipated motion picture epic weaves a rich human tapestry of romance, heroism, tragedy and greed. Within these pages is a detailed look at the monumental effort by thousands of artists and craftsmen to accurately recreate the ship of dreams, including the full-size exterior replica of the ship and the 17 million gallon tank facility designed to sink her. A wealth of detailed interior spaces, new discoveries from Cameron's 1995 dive to the wreck, some 2.5 miles below the ocean's surface, studies of the wardrobe, makeup and hairstyles that define the look of the Gilded Age, overview of the film's groundbreaking visual effects work, and in-depth interviews with cast and crew, all reference to the historic events of the Titanic's maiden and final voyage. I've not read this one yet, but it's got tons of things. I keep repeating myself, guys, but I do love these making of books. They're really cool. Just like really cool. I've got two more that are basically a pair, but I've got the Game of Thrones. This is kind of like, you know, the inside story seasons 1 and 2. Again, it's just Game of Thrones. It's got a bunch of stuff. Absolutely, you know, it's got like, you know, White Walkers, a brief history, tons of information. I bought these when Game of Thrones was like a hot property, but obviously it disappointed fans with its final season. It's got some really cool shots, really cool like images there, really cool still images. It's a really nice kind of like false leather binding as well. Really like it. It's got no blurb, it just says on the back, in the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. That is definitely a thing. It's got like, you know, certain like chapters about the characters. These are really cool. They're not really making ofs per se, but it's like it goes into more depth of the Game of Thrones world and its characters, and you know, how they created specific scenes like Ned's execution, for example. So it goes into detail how they kind of shot Ned's execution. Really cool stuff. I think it's a really nice book. It feels like it's such a nice. It's really nicely presented as well. Really nice, actual really nice book. I love coffee table books, and these making of books are some of the best. This is inside Game of Thrones seasons 3 and 4. I don't think they continued these books after this one. I think it's only 2, because I would get the others if they had the others, but they unfortunately don't. Unfortunately, this is more or less the same kind of stuff. You've got like filming in Iceland, and they talk about filming in Iceland for like some of the beyond the wall stuff. You got costume design and stuff like that for the wildlings. Just some really cool like chapters in here, like, you know, filming the direwolves and stuff like that. Just a really cool really cool stuff in these books, man. Like, if you like Game of Thrones and you didn't hate the last season, these books are pretty much a must buy, I think. I got them fairly cheap as well. I want to see if they've got more. If they've got, you know, seasons 5 and 6, 7 and 8, if they've just put out the more of them. But anyway, that is how it stands. That is my making of book collection as it stands right now. I'm sure I will be getting more in the future. But yeah, that was a bit of a long-winded, long in the tooth video, and I do apologise if I waffled on for a bit. But yeah, anyway, let me know. Do you guys like, you know, making of books and making of movies and stuff like that, and you know, going behind the scenes and finding out information you didn't know beforehand? I think it's fascinating. It's what I love about movies in general. I love the whole, you know, what happens behind the scenes and how films, how techniques are done. You know, stuff like Terminator 2. Watching documentaries about that when I was younger and seeing how they did all the special effects was fascinating. But these books come to, they're literally documentaries in book form, right? But yeah, anyway, as always, if you like what you see on this channel and you would like to see more, maybe consider becoming a subscriber, Runu. You know, it really helps me out, and you'll get notified every time I put out a video. As always, thank you so much to everyone that has already subscribed, commented, liked, and shared my content across the YouTube landscape. Really appreciate it, guys. As always, I have been Jason, and I am gonna go and maybe have a little read of the Titanic making of book.